Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Ask Amity Show. My name is Edmund.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Cindy.
And we are the attorneys here at Amity Law Group. As a law firm, we are known for helping families protect their assets using wills, living trusts, and other estate planning documents. Today's topic for this video is ways that you can exercise with your kids. So as parents, you probably had a lot of physical activities with your kids when you were younger and they were babies and teenagers. But as they've grown, you probably don't have a lot of physical activities with them. And there's no rules to that. I mean, why not, right? If you're still active, if your kids are around, why not exercise with the kids? And so we're going to talk about ways that you can do so in this video. Jennifer, you want to start us off?
Sure. I think a good way is maybe plan like weekend hikes with your family. I know that's certainly something that we enjoy as our family. We usually will go with my in-laws on a Saturday or a Sunday, and then we'll grab brunch after and just make it a full kind of activity out of it. And then, it depends on kind of the speed of each person and kind of the everybody's physical state. So you can do very, easy walks, or if you're more of like an advanced hiker, you can do, the higher kind of elevated walks. And so, those are really good opportunities. And usually, kids will enjoy it, and it's for like every age really. And you can bring your dogs and your pets along. So it can be a really fun activity, and at the same time, you could get really good exercise out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What we love to do is do dinner walks after dinner. So we'll do neighborhood walks, and we'll take different routes every other night, and we get to know the neighbors, we get to know the homes and see what other people are doing and with their houses and maybe with their landscaping. So it's kind of fun to comment on that and look out for things that we think we might want to adopt, things that we might want to copy. And then it also helps you digest all the food that you just had. So we really enjoy our night walks after dinner.
And I think just to keep in mind, make sure that you're not forcing your kids to do anything that they don't want to do. So if they don't like hiking, they're probably not going to go. If they go, it's kind of forced. Really understand what your kids love to do and see if there's some middle ground, because you'd be surprised. You might not know that your kids love a specific type of activity, but once you talk to them about this topic and you say, hey, I really want to do something active with you, what can we do together? And having that open dialogue should really help determine what you can do with your kids as an exercise. So really understand what they love to do, because speaking from experience, sometimes I try to force my parents to do certain activities and certain exercises, and that's not something that they want to do, so they end up not doing it. And that's something that I need to work on to really figure out what they love and merge it with what you love as well, and then make an activity out of it. So that's something to consider.
Yeah, and I think as a compromise to that would be maybe if you have like a family meeting and say, hey, let's have this exercise activity on monthly basis, weekly basis, every other week, and then we can take turns planning it. So maybe this weekend we go on a hike, next weekend you decide you want to go kayaking, go play tennis, whatever it is. Then you each have a say in what you want to do, and everybody kind of gets to do a little bit of what the other person likes to do. So that could be a good compromise as well.
Yeah, and something similar that happened recently with my family was that my sister, she had planted some stuff in her backyard, and she invited us to pick something that we would like to see in her yard. So my parents picked some fruit trees, and I picked some herbs that we thought we would like and enjoy. So that was fun, but that we all were able to pick something and also help the process where you're planting it in the yard, in the garden bed. So that was something where everyone can kind of gather and congregate around an activity that somebody has maybe. You can find some exercise in that.
Yeah. Yeah, so be creative. Gardening might not seem like an exercise, but obviously it is.
It is.
It is, yeah. And so be creative, have fun with your kids. At the end of the day, it's all about, finding that joy with them and spending time with them. And I'm sure you'll figure out what fits between you and your kids.
And when you're doing these activities, it really gives you the time and the space to think and talk about your assets, the family assets, and how, what your intentions are for those assets when you do pass. So through these conversations, through these activities, it won't be a surprise. And I think some of the best asset planning is when it's not a surprise. Because when when people think it's a surprise, then there's issues and people start making challenges to the trust or challenges to the will because they never realize that is what you intended. So it's always better to try and be transparent about it as much as you can. If your family allows for that, the space is allowed for that, you're comfortable doing that, then it really is the best way to plan for your estate.
Great advice. That was really good.
Thanks.
And we also offer free consultations. So if you need help figuring out how to distribute your assets among your family, we're here for you. And our office is in Rosemead, California. All right, I think that's it for this episode. If you guys have any questions about this topic, about ways to exercise with your kids, leave a comment below and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Until next time, see you later.